All right, so let's go ahead and create some templates together, and we can see how this practically looks different than our ADTs. All right, so again, make sure you're logged in. Go ahead and go to the menu, and we're going to go to the content section and web content. Okay. All right, here what we're going to do is we're going to import some existing content. Again, we don't want to create content that's saved for the content management course, but we are going to use some content and provide templates for those content articles. Okay, so go ahead and click on options at the top right for web content. Click on export import. Import here. Okay, again, we're just using these LAR files again to bring in some existing content. Click on select file. All right, navigate to your exercises. We're going to be in the 5th section here again, so the 5th chapter. And we're going to be in the 2nd section of the 5th chapter called Web Content Templates. All right, and find the Livingston landing content.lar. Go ahead and open that up. Click Continue. And import. Okay. All right, once you see successful, we can go ahead and close the pop-up here. All right, so we have some content to work with. So let's go ahead and get it added to the page and then create a basic template for this content. All right, click Go to Site in the Site Administration panel. Again, let's go ahead and close that menu. All right, I'm going to click on the Add button at the top right, and we're going to add our new content to the page. So open up the content section, and you will see the Welcome to the Livingston Hotels and Resorts option at the top. Let's go ahead and drag that to the top of the page. Okay. Okay, so currently it is just spitting out the information as is. So we want to go ahead and create a template that can handle the content here and provide a basic, consistent design so that we can have this used elsewhere as well. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and open up our exercises, just like we did before. Okay, make sure you're in C Liferay or User Home Liferay in the exercises folder in that 5th chapter, and we will now be looking at the web content template section here. So go ahead and open up the Livingston landing template.ftl. Okay, so it's our free marker file for this. And we're going to go ahead and replace this comment here by typing LFR and selecting 13 simple template and clicking save. All right. Now what you'll see here and what's important here that distinguishes this from our ADTs is we are getting our data directly from the structure, okay, like I've mentioned. All right, so we have the image source here. We're using a basic div structure. Again, we're using those card classes. All right, and then we're getting tagline data and content data here. So we don't have to assign the asset renderer to get certain information. We can just get all of the data straight from the web content structure. All right, so let's go ahead and save this here. And what we're going to do is we're going to, of course, add this template. So actually, if you want to, you can just copy this now. And let's go ahead and add our template code. Okay, so open up the menu, go to Content and Web Content. All right, go ahead and click on the Templates section here. You'll see Structures and Templates. If you'd like to examine the content and the structures themselves, I would encourage you to pause the video and do that here. All right, but otherwise we're going to click on Templates here, and we're going to click on our basic Livingston landing template. So go ahead and open that up. Again, what this is doing is it's just simply spitting out the data. All right, and the easy way to reference the data from our structure is just in this editor to use the structure field information here. By clicking on this here, you can simply get the field data that we see here. So let's go ahead and replace this content with our current simple template. All right, scroll down and click Save. All right, so if we want to see the change, we can click Go to Site. All right, and this is going to display our image and our text formatted. Okay. Now, of course, there's much more you can do with this. You can add some more of the clay classes. You can shrink the image. So I would encourage you again here to pause and take a look at how you can make this maybe look a little bit nicer. Okay. We could even remove the title by changing the look and feel of the widget. Okay. And we do that using application decorators, just like we looked at with themes. So that is a simple web content template. Okay, obviously there's more that we could do with that. But let's look at a little bit more of a structured example for some featured hotels on the platform. All right, so let's go back to the content section of site administration and web content. All right, we're going to import a new content article for some featured content, and then we're going to provide the template there. Okay, so click on Options and Export Import for web content. Click on Import and select. All right, and go ahead and choose the for-image structure.lar. Open that up. Click Continue and Import. All right, so this gives us our structure. We can go ahead and close this. All right, if we want to look at the structure, again, we can click on the structure section here. Take a look at the image grid. Okay, and this is the visual representation of our structure. So we're going to have basically a section here that includes text, image, and link, and we're going to have that copied as separate sections. So each of the 4 sections here are going to include your image, text, as well as a link for the text. Okay, so we're simply going to grab that data and create a template out of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on Go to Site here. We're going to add this content to the page so we can see the difference once we add our template. I'm going to go ahead and close the menu here. All right, I'm actually going to go ahead and add it underneath this giant header here. Click Add, and I'm going to put the featured hotels in between the giant top and the asset publisher. Okay, you'll see we have some content here, but obviously this needs to be formatted. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, so let's open up our exercises again. And this time we're going to go ahead and open up the for-image-template.ftl. So go ahead and open that up. I'm going to close the other one here. Okay. All right, so here we're going to go ahead and do some of the writing for this together to build our structure. For starters, we have a H1 up top. We're centering our text, and we will include the actual title data here. So we'll do that together. All right, and then we have a container class that will give us an unordered list that we can use those card classes on for each of our 4 featured hotels. All right, so find the comment that says begin exercise here. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and add a div with the class card type asset. Okay, so go ahead and create a div with the class card type asset. Okay, we've seen this before, and of course we need to close our div. So we're going to go ahead and add a new div with a class here. All right, for the first one we're going to do the card header, and then we'll do a card body as well. Okay, so we'll do card header, and we'll use the aspect ratio class. Okay, and of course we will close this div. All right, and underneath this we're going to do the same thing but for the card body. So we'll add a div with our class here, and we're going to do card body. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and close that div. Okay, so this gives us our initial structure. All right, for one of our sections here, for our list section, okay, we're giving it a column at the top here. So they're going to be 6 columns for each section. Obviously, we're going to have 4 here, so it's going to be 50% for each column, okay, in a row. All right, and then we have our card type asset, and then we're distinguishing the header and the body. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the header code here. So go ahead and open up the card header section and type LFR. Go ahead and find the 14th snippet called hotel image. All right, and this is going to use data for the actual image. Okay, so it's checking for the image. All right, and once we have or can verify the image, it's going to use the image data. We're going to get some alt text, and we're going to include the aspect ratio item fluid class here. All right, so that's going to be for the header. So the header is just going to contain our image. All right, and for the body, we can open this up, type LFR, and let's go ahead and find the 15th snippet called hotel title link. Okay, and we can save that here. All right, and what this does is it simply gives us our title text for this, and it creates a URL. Okay, so we can go ahead and click on this, and once it's all set up, it could take us to a page designated for that particular featured hotel. All right, so from here, we're going to go ahead and add in the final columns and rows and columns. All right, so go ahead and highlight the insert 16 top row second column here. It's going to directly reflect exactly what we just did, except the data that it's going to retrieve is going to be from that second section in the structure that we looked at. Okay, so type in LFR. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and find the 16th snippet called top row second column. All right, we could save that. So again, the difference here is going to be from the actual structure itself. So you'll see text 2, image 2, etc., whereas up here you would see text 1, image 1. Okay. And then underneath this, go ahead and find the second comment that says insert 17 second row here. Okay, highlight that and type LFR. All right, and we'll go ahead and add that second row, which is going to contain our last two columns. And again, the data is going to be distinguished by number. So we have text 3, image 3, etc., and text 4, image 4, etc. here as well. Okay, so this gives us our full template. It's going to display all of our featured hotels. All right, and to finish up, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and add our title up at the top. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add this once it's in the editor. So go ahead and copy everything we have right now. Let's go back to the site administration web content section. So open up the menu, go to content and web content in site administration. All right, click on templates and click on the 4-image grid template here. Okay. And let's go ahead and replace everything here with the template we just created. Okay. And to simply demonstrate how we can use the editor, go ahead and highlight the insert title data here at the very, very top of our code. And just simply click on the title section under fields. And quite simply, that gives us our title data. All right, so it's that easy. So you can either do it in an editor like we were doing, or you can actually come into the platform editor here and take advantage of some of these variables. All right, so once we're done with this, go ahead and scroll down and click Save. All right, we can click on Go to Site in the Site Administration panel. And if we scroll down, we will now see our featured hotels. Okay. And they're going to contain our links and our hotels here. Okay. All right, now again, if we want to, we can go to the look and feel configuration. We can turn off the borders. We can make this look nicer. So I'll go ahead and do that just for fun. You don't have to do this here. So I can, for example, change this to bare bone, which is going to remove the title and the border. Okay, so it just says Livingston Group Hotels. I can do the same for the top here as well. Look and feel configuration. Set this to bare bone. Save. and refresh. Okay, and it's just going to be our image and our text. Okay? All right, so that's going to be the major distinction between our web content templates and our ADTs. Those ADTs are going to use the asset renderer and some other variables to get information, and then you can take it from there. Whereas with web content templates, you can simply access the content from these structures themselves that are created by your content admins. So in the next section, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at page fragments, which are our new feature in 7.1. All right, so I'll see you in the next section.